As a trainer, I've always subscribed to the teach to the middle belief. Instead of trying to address the specific needs of each individual learner, I'd like to spend about 5 minutes talking about the two sides of this debate and why I recently changed my strategy. On one side of the argument, we have the traditional teach to the middle. Feed the chickens. It's an old standard where we group learners and distribute curricula like it's feeding time on a farm. On the other hand, we have what was once next to impossible, and that's to identify a group of really specific details of individual learners. Things like knowing every student's history, including previous training experiences. So first we'll take a look at these traditional tools like placement assessments and the Alte can-do statement framework. And then we'll have a look at the individual learner needs and how to identify those focus areas with behavioral-based questions in a quick 5-minute interview. Let's start with this assessment. We currently use a 30-minute multiple-choice assessment which identifies the level of the participant's English language proficiency. The assessment tool we use is extremely accurate. Traditional assessment tools like TOEIC and IELTS are industry standards here in Bangkok, and they all have one thing in common. They're built on the Alte framework. That's Alte, A-L-T-E. Alte is the Association of Language Testers in Europe. We combine the 30-minute Alte framework placement assessment with a short 5-minute interview which uses the Alte can-do statement framework. Now, can-do statement levels are pretty simple. The first is breakthrough, can understand basic instruction. Level 2 can express simple opinions. Level 3 can express opinions in abstract cultural matters in a limited way. Level 4 can follow or give a talk on a familiar topic. And then at the top we have Level 5, can contribute effectively in a meeting or keep a casual conversation going with a good degree of fluency, and can advise on complex or sensitive issues and deal confidently with hostile questions. Alte establishes a 6-level framework of language proficiency, and it helps me to quickly group learners into levels and distribute curriculum targeting those levels. On the other hand, we can actually use those same tools to identify and profile each individual learner and his or her individual needs. The 30-minute placement assessment we're using is actually mapped to specific grammar and vocabulary issues, and these can help in preparing interview questions. In my days as a recruiter, we found that the old saying, the leopard doesn't change his spots, that old principle of asking open-ended behavioral-based questions where candidates described actual experiences, it was a great tool for identifying competencies that were needed for specific jobs. So using the same technique, we can uncover learning needs that may have otherwise gone unseen. Using behavioral-based questions during the interview phase of the assessment allows me to identify specific training needs and training objectives. But more importantly, I can discover who you are and what important building blocks may have been missed in your previous trainings. Using open-ended behavioral-based question techniques means inciting the respondent to elaborate on actual experiences, thus offering a true look at who the individual really is. Questions like, tell me about a challenge you have had when trying to have a conversation in English with a native English speaker. Or more simply, what areas of training do you need to focus on? So, in conclusion, Let's continue to use these traditional tools, the 30-minute placement assessment and the 5-minute Alte standard interview. But let's change the focus from grouping participants into levels and distributing training material targeting those levels to addressing you as an individual learner with individual learning requirements and experiences. We can now target these easily with the latest technological training tools. The next step in this process is for you to create a profile on our Moodle course management website. Use the forums and share about your learning experience and help make this a reality. There is no doubt in my mind that after we have completed this first phase of our training experience, this unique group of learners will move on to the next level. I have a lot of confidence that you will work hard to improve your proficiency level by collaborating with me and with your peers to tackle individual areas of focus. Thank you.